What's up, traders? Welcome back to the channel. Today was insane. We're talking about a stock that just exploded over 151% in a single trading session. That's $EDHL. And it's not alone. We had 5 stocks posting triple-digit gains today while the entire market was watching 5. Others get absolutely obliterated. If you missed today's action, you're in the right place. Stick around because we're breaking down every single move, the catalysts behind them, and what you need to watch for tomorrow. Let's dive in. Alright, let's set the stage for what happened today. June 11th, 2026. The market was dominated by extreme volatility in small cap and micro cap names. We saw relative volume indicators spiking at 2.0x across the board for our top gainers, which tells us there was significant institutional and retail interest flooding into these plays. On the flip side, some names that had momentum recently got hit hard with profit taking and negative catalysts. Volume was elevated across the board, and that tells us traders were active and sentiment was extremely split. Today was a classic day of rotation and sector rotation out of some underperformers and into fresh catalysts. Let's break down exactly what moved and why. Starting with the absolute king of the day, $EDHL. Up an absolutely massive 151.5%, closing at $8.801 per share. Volume was through the roof at 118,968,000 shares with a relative volume indicator of 2.0x. The catalyst here is ShareStructure.io announcing a brand new investor education platform. This is huge because it signals the company is expanding its ecosystem and building infrastructure for retail traders and investors. Zero range for re-entry opportunities. Number 2. GELS. GELTEC surged 123.5% and is now trading at $1.150. Volume was absolutely massive. 299,355,000 shares on 2.0x relative volume. This is a huge institutional play. The company announced the establishment of a center of excellence in China and a new expansion into gel-based nutrition with healthy extracts. This is a multi-catalyst event. China exposure plus new product expo. We could see a pullback to $0.90. Number 3. RITR. Up 84.3% at $1.060. Volume was 24,637,000 shares on 2.0x relative volume. Interestingly, there's no major news attached to this one, which makes it a speculative momentum play. This is classic technical breakout territory. Sometimes stocks move on expected news or insider activity before announcements hit. Watch that $1.06 level. If we get a daily close above it with V, could see a run to $1.30 to $1.40. Number 4. GLXG. Galaxy Payroll. Up 75.2% at $1.710. Volume was 225,951,000 shares on 2.0x relative volume. The catalyst is the filing of a $200 million mixed shelf offering. This is actually a bullish signal because it shows the company has access to capital markets and confidence in growth. When companies file shelf offerings, it often means they're preparing for acquisitions or merger. Around $1.55. Watch for that. And number 5. PPCB. Propanc Biopharma. Up 69.8% at $2.292. This one is insane. Volume hit 347 million. 61,000 shares on 2.0x relative volume. The stock surged over 200% just days ago, and now they've authorized a $5 million stock buyback program. Buybacks are company-directed support, which is super bullish. This tells us management believes the stock is undervalued. The problem with this Asked me. Some names went very wrong. Number 1. $TPC. Tutor Perini Corporation. This construction and engineering company got absolutely demolished. Down 74% at $17.840. Volume was only 574,000 shares, which is extremely light. But that light volume amplified the damage. The news cycle included discussions about whether value investors should buy, plus some AT&T infrastructure news that probably diverted capital away from Constructi. Honestly, the downtrend is severe. Number 2. $DSY. Big Tree Cloud Holdings. Down 49.7% at $3.620. Volume was 1.1 million shares. The announcement was a transfer of listing, which is typically negative because it signals distress or major corporate restructuring. When companies transfer listings, it often means they're moving from a premium exchange to a lower tier one, which usually indicates financial difficulty or regulatory issues. Away until we see stabilization. Number 3. $PPBT. Purple Biotech. Down 47% at $1.570. Volume was 20,832,000 shares. Interestingly, the company had positive news. New IM-1240 preclinical data and a new scientific advisory board. So why did it crash? This is a classic sell the news situation. The expectations were probably built into the stock. And when the data didn't exceed those expectations, the stock got hit. Biotech. That breaks. We could see $1.20. Number 4. VSME. VS Media. Down 43.4% at $1.160. Volume was 5,010,000 shares. The company announced entry into the AI smart living sector, which should be bullish, but instead it got sold off. This could indicate that the market is skeptical about their ability to execute in a crowded AI space. Or it could just be profit taking from earlier rallies. Volume is concerning here. It's low. Conviction is lacking. And finally, number 5. Atos. Atossa Therapeutics. Down 41.8% at $2.560. Volume was 1.3 million shares. They announced ASCO 2026 abstracts, which is a major biotech conference. Typically, that's positive. But again, we're seeing a sell the news dynamic. The market might be pricing in expectations that weren't met by the actual abstracts. Or sentiment in biotech is just rotating away. Watch $2.40 as support. If it. So what should you be watching for tomorrow? First, watch EDHL and GELS for the morning open. Both had massive gap up moves. When that happens, we typically see either continuation or a pullback. If EDHL opens above $9 and holds through the first 30 minutes on volume, we could see a run to $9.50 to $10. If it opens flat or down, expect a major pullback to $7.50 to $8. Same with GELS. Watch the $1.15 support. Second, keep an eye on PPCB and RITR. Both are in continuation mode. If they can hold their levels and close above them on volume, they could break out further. $RITR at $1.06 could test $1.20 to $1.30. And $PPCB at $2.29 could push toward $2.50 to $2.60. Third, the losers. Watch $TPC and $PPBT for any potential bounce attempts. Sometimes after massive single-day crashes, you get a dead cat bounce. If $TPC bounces to $18.50 to $19 on low volume, that's a short setup. Don't try to catch a falling knife. Fourth, keep an eye on the biotech sector overall. We're seeing a pattern of sell the news in biotech plays like $PPBT and $ATOS. This could indicate sector rotation out of healthcare and into tech or fintech. Watch to see if $EDHL's fintech play momentum continues. Finally, watch for any earnings announcements or macroeconomic news for tomorrow. The Fed commentary, jobs data, or inflation reports could shift the entire market sentiment. Small caps are extremely sensitive to macro conditions, so stay tuned to CNBC and Bloomberg. One more thing. Pay attention to after-hours trading tonight. Sometimes the biggest moves happen after the bell closes, and it gives you a heads up for tomorrow's open. Check our social media for real-time updates if we see any major movements. Every single day after market close, we break down the top gainers and losers so you never miss a major move. Whether it's a 150% runner like $EDHL or a brutal 74% crash like $TPC, we've got you covered with the catalysts, the volume analysis, and the key levels to watch. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you get alerted the moment we publish a new video. Tomorrow we'll be covering a brand new set of movers. Could be some crazy biotech runner. Could be a fintech explosion like we saw today. Either way, you'll be the first to know. See you tomorrow. If you want access to premium market analysis, real-time trade alerts, and a community of serious traders, head over to tdvw.com. We've got educational resources, scanner setups, and daily live trading rooms to help you identify moves like $EDHL before they explode. The link is in the description. That's tdvw.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's market recap.